So here we've got a piecewise function, and in order to find out if it's differentiable, I am going to make a quick sketch of this piecewise function. The first piece is the straight line 1 minus 2x, and I'm going to put the first piece in green. So it's got a y-intercept of 1 and a slope of -2. So that means it looks something like this. Now this green dotted straight line actually only applies for when x is less than -1. So that means this graph actually only comes up to this point because that's when x equals -1 and stops. The next piece of the function is a parabola, and it looks something like that. But it only applies when the absolute value of x is less than 1. This is the same meaning as x has to be between -1 and 1. So in the section between -1 and 1, we've got the parabola as the piece of the graph. So here we go. This is the piece that exists for this piecewise function. And it's hollow dots on the ends of this one because there is no equal sign in this inequality. And then the last piece is the diagonal line y equals x, which looks something like this. But it also only applies when x is greater than 1. So this blue line actually starts when x is 1 and continues on this way. So the function has 3 pieces, the green, the red, and the blue piece in this case. And if we now take a look at this graph, we notice that there is a discontinuity here at x equals 1. At x equals -1, there is a discontinuity, or a hole, and because of the discontinuity, it is therefore, symbol for therefore, not differentiable. Can't take the derivative if there is a hole in the graph. Now the next thing to check is the other point. This is continuous here, and this one right here, because it goes from the red parabola to the blue straight line and there's no gap. So it's continuous here, which means that technically there is a possibility we can take the derivative. But is it a smooth transition? So is there a sharp corner or not? Well, in order to figure out if there's a sharp corner, we're going to take the derivative of this red parabola. So the derivative of the parabola piece is 2x, and the derivative of the blue line is 1. And are these the same when x equals 1? When x equals 1, the first derivative is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2, and the other derivative is equal to still 1. So these are not the same, which means the slope that the parabola has is steeper, it's 2, than the slope of the straight line coming out of that point. So that indicates there is a sharp corner, and therefore at x equals 1, the function is not differentiable. So is the function differentiable? Back to the question. Yes, except x equals plus or minus 1. At those 2 points, there are issues.